back better than ever. I'm back better than ever.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's another episode of Notable Prisoners and the Inmates that Occupy them. I'm gonna need you to get your lighters ready. Okay, so this is a nice and different type of episode. Today we're gonna be speaking about Rayful Edomnd III. The DC Blacks refer to him as Rayful Edomnd. He basically came out of the era where all the real big players and Alpo and the AZ and the Mecca World Audio and all these guys was really getting money. But here, let's break it down. Rayful Edomnd III, he's a drug trafficker from D.C. in the 80s. He was largely responsible for having introduced the crack cocaine into D.C. area during the crack epidemic, resulting in an escalating crime rate in the city, which became known as the murder capital of the United States. Edomnd was allegedly to have moved large amounts of coke in an indictment involving two of Edomnd's associates, DC Scorpio. It was said that they bought between 1,000 to 2,000 kilos per week in 1992 from the Trujillo Blanco brothers, who were associated with the Medellin cartel and sold the drugs to Washington area wholesalers. He was known to have spent some $457,000 in an exclusive Georgetown store specializing in Italian men's clothing, owned by Charles Wynn, who was later convicted of 34 counts of money laundering. Edomnd's estimated revenue was approximately $300 million a year. In 1 year, Edomnd's organization, which employed 150 people, committed well over 30 murders. And the thing about Edomnd, he was a young, likable guy, good looking with a good personality, and a lot of his friends he played basketball with had no idea that he was involved in trapping. He was basically pulled into it from his family. That doesn't make it right, but Rayful had a lot of people who liked him and were very loyal to him. Edomnd was an avid fan of the Georgetown Hoyas and frequently sat courtside with his entourage at the Capitol Center for home games. At the height of his empire, he became very friendly with several Hoya players when Georgetown University basketball coach DC native John Thompson confirmed what was happening. He sent word through his sources to have Edomnd meet him at his office. When Edomnd arrived, Thompson was initially cordial and informed Edomnd that he needed to cease all contacts with his players, specifically John Turner and Alonzo Mourning, both of whom he befriended Edomnd. However, Thompson's parting words to Edomnd were that Edomnd would face serious consequences if he did not stay away from his players. It is believed Thompson is the only person to stand up to Edomnd without consequence, initially causing some shock and surprise that there was no reprisal against Thompson for it. However, in a memoir published in December 2020, Thompson characterized the encounter very differently, calling it very respectful. Thompson asked Rayful if he would make sure that Alonzo and John were not wrapped up in any illegal activity. Rayful told Thompson that he would take care of it, and both men left the meeting in agreement with respect for each other as human beings. Rayful quoted as saying afterwards, "Coach Thompson is cool as hell." Okay, so let's get down to the meat and potatoes. Y'all ready for it? Edomnd was arrested April 5th, 1989 at the age of 24. Hold on. It always trips me out when I be, when I watch a lot of these, YouTube videos on a lot of these, the DC Blacks, a lot of them dudes, because, a lot of them were trappers, man. They was getting money. It always, trips me out, hearing the amounts of money they were getting. You have to have a solid crew of people to run up a bag like that. And not even that, you need a solid connect that's going to give you the work, right? But then you need solid people that you could distribute it to for them to sell it as well. Because no one's getting 1,000 kilos and sitting in their house and just breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? No, they're sending 20 here, 50 here, 100 here, 200 here, to trust the people, and they're doing what they're doing. But anyways, he was 24. His arrest and subsequent trial were widely covered by local and national media. fearful of reprisals from members of Edmund's gang, imposed unprecedented security during the trial. Jurors' identities were kept secret before, during, and after trial, and their seating area was enclosed in bulletproof glass. The presiding judge even barred the public from the trial in an effort to protect the jury. Edomnd was jailed at the maximum security facility at Marine Corps Base Quantico in Virginia, and flown to the federal courthouse in D.C. by helicopter each day for his trial. Authorities took this unusual step due to heightened fears of an armed escape attempt. That's kind of probably like how they're going to handle, who's the dude that just got bumped up? El Mayo. Yeah, that's probably how they're going to handle him. And rumor has it Chapo's son told on him. Edomnd was convicted of numerous federal violations. Engaging in continuing criminal enterprise, conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent, unlawful employing a person under the age of 18, interstate travel in the aid of racketeering, unlawful use of a communications facility. Like, dude had a gang of charges, right? Get this. On September 17, 1990, the district court imposed sentences of mandatory life without parole on count 1, life without parole on count 2 and 5, and 60 months on count 11, and 48 months on counts 14, 15, 16, 18. Edomnd's sentences were to run concurrently. Edomnd was eventually sentenced to life in prison without parole. His mother, Miss Perry, was sentenced to 14 years in prison for participating in his criminal enterprise. Several of his sisters and cousins also received life sentences. Edomnd continued to deal after being incarcerated at Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary. Y'all need to check my page. I did a video on Lewisburg. He hooked up with Dixon and Osvaldo Chique, Griselda Blanco's kids, who shared the same cell block with him. Edomnd was setting up deals between D.C. area traffickers and his Colombia connection while incarcerated. In 96, Edomnd and another drug dealer from Atlanta named Lowe were convicted after conducting drug business from a federal prison phone. Edomnd received an additional 30-year sentence. In an interview with the Bureau of Prisons, Edomnd said he had spent several hours every day on the telephone, occasionally using 2 lines simultaneously to conduct his drug business. Attorney General Eric Holder, that's one of them. That's a horrible name, man. Long live Nip. Eric Holder criticized the Federal Bureau of Prisons for its lax management that allowed the drug deals to be conducted from inside the prison. In 96, federal authorities revealed that Edomnd had become a government informant. With Edmund's cooperation, the government arrested 11 alleged drug dealers working in the D.C. In exchange for federal prosecutors agreed to seek a reduced sentence in Edmund's mother's case. Now, I got to stop you here now, because the truth of the matter is this. His mom was getting busy way before he was even in the streets, right? What it was, he was giving someone some work. And the dude didn't come correct all the way. He gave him a portion of it and said it was like it was lost. And then on the next shipment, dude kept it. And so this is what really got to him. Like, that's what, like, made him want to flip. And so he did. It's just as simple as that. In 1996, federal authorities revealed that Edomnd became a government informant. Edomnd is still incarcerated, but is now part of the United States Federal Witness Protection Program. The prison where he is held at has not been disclosed. Well, I got some news for you people. He's actually not incarcerated, and he's out. And he was at like a black site, Guantanamo Bay type of prison, where we can't even find information on these type of places. And, you know, it's a trip, man. It's really a trip. How people will put themselves in situations knowing the consequences, but when it gets too hot in the kitchen, they find the quickest way to evacuate, even if it means leaving people at the dinner table to burn in the flame. And essentially, that's what he did. That's what Alpo did. That's what Sammy the Bull did. That's what Tekashi 6ix9ine did. and many, many, many others. Those are just probably some of the most notable ones. But another thing, if you made it this far, I have a question. Are there any people from DC that's done Fed time or anything that wants to be interviewed on the page? If so, my Instagram's in the bio. Send me a DM or drop it in the comments, and I'll come find you. Yeah. So I'm gonna spark this up. I'm gonna get back to my night. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Hey, you wanna see something cool? Watch this. Look at the button that says SUBSCRIBE. You looking at it? Watch this. Subscribe. Did it do it?